ready. Go ahead.
Straight out of the Garden State. La reina de la reina. Estoy aquí and you're listening to the Java Tears podcast.
I like that.
Miles, where's my flutes? We live. Janelle from the HR.
Thank
The
you.
HR. From the HR. Shout out to
Finally.
the HR clan slash the Spice Right clan. Shout out to the Show Working
What?
Nights. Shout out to the Black Pack. Reason why I said slash the Sazone or slash the Spice Right, because you got a Sazone podcast. You feel me?
I
That's
heard
a
you.
spice, so your fans are called the
Nah,
Spice Racks.
I got you. I don't have fans.
Okay.
I don't
So shout out to all the
them.
fans right now collectively. Yeah, Meg collectively in her DMs with Mikey behind her.
Like I don't have those. I don't know what those are.
Whatever you know.
You just gonna come at me like that. Jobber Nation, welcome
Shout out to Lucy T.
another shout outs to Lucy T. I'm super happy that she's in a very awesome place in her life. Got
Happy to Lucy T.
engaged. And now she's living in Jersey. So I love you, Lucy. Miss you much. We got to do brunch soon when the world opens up. But as I was saying, Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobber Tears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc.
Mr. Black on the ones and threes.
On the ones and threes.
gotta
You
be
know what I
different.
realized? I don't like odd numbers. I like even numbers.
Yeah.
This morning
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I like even numbers. I don't.
It feels weird.
It feels weird. But anyway, once again, thank you to everyone that's watching on the live feed as well as those that have subscribed to our YouTube page. So please make sure to tell a friend to tell a
Please
friend.
like, subscribe,
To
comment,
subscribe
and below
to-
because it helps with the algorithm. Because a lot of these big
They do
businesses
this
is taking
every
over
episode.
YouTube. So if you want to help our brother and sister out,
Help black-owned
exactly.
businesses.
Please
and thank you.
like, subscribe, and click the bell icon and share and comment, man. Shout out to everyone on the last episode who was out there commenting. We had a great conversation. Let's keep this momentum up. It's
Okay.
2021. I'm telling you, man.
We love
Let's
all
do
the
this
comments,
together, man.
good, bad, or indifferent, because it always comes out where we try to just, put ourselves out there. So once again, thank you to everyone that has been supporting the Jabba Tears podcast, along with all of our other subdivisions of other podcasts.
Shout out to Peter. Shout out to
So-
Jabari. Shout out to Kiki.
Kiki, do you love me? I don't know why every time I do that, that comes in my mind. Oh, that's why. I was like, what is that about?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Hi, Kiki. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Jabari.
Everybody. He just let it rock out. Before we get started, how's everyone's week going? I feel like it's been like the longest week. We have a new president and vice president in office. It's an amazing time post Capitol riots and all that jazz. So what's been going on this week with you guys?
A lot of white tears in the world right now. Couple white tears, baby. These white tears. That's how to say that. Mad white tears.
I mean, not.
Mad MAGA white tears.
That's.
I'm
I
gonna give
guess.
you mad brief. Listen, I ain't worrying about them, so I'm waiting. Like, what are you gonna see? We got you out there, Joe.
Yeah,
We got you there, Kamala.
Uncle Joe.
We got you out in there. So what are you gonna do for the
Yo,
world?
I don't care what anyone says. That fucking tweet Wale put out yesterday.
What he put?
Hilarious.
Yo, that shit is the
Hilarious.
yo.
What
It
he
was
put?
so funny. So he put Joe Budden on one side and Kamala the wrestler on the other side, and he tweeted it, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's corny," but that shit was funny as fuck.
The thing is, if you're not a wrestling fan, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
No, but even wrestling
Yeah.
fans, because I saw all the wrestling group page, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's corny." I get it, but and I'm just saying here like, yo, that
But
shit is funny as fuck.
I mean, listen, it's not for everybody.
No, a lot of people don't like Wale.
Yeah, they don't.
I love Wale.
That's what.
Wale's not for everybody.
He's not.
Like,
And he doesn't get appreciated the
he
way that
doesn't.
he's supposed to.
You gotta appreciate when he dies.
Yeah, they are.
Which is unfortunate. Like,
They
he's
are.
in that same category, like how people don't appreciate J. Cole, how
Nope.
people don't appreciate
What are you
Willie
talking about?
Kendrick.
People appreciate J.
No, they
Cole.
don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they do not.
No, they don't.
They do not
Keyword,
appreciate
in
Jermaine
our
Cole.
group, because outside of that, it's J. Cole show is too whack.
do not appreciate Jermaine
He's whack
Cole
because
at
he kept
all.
flashing.
J. Cole went platinum
with no features.
So
and
obviously
still,
people appreciate
no,
him.
and still gets no real respect.
Exactly.
He still doesn't. And he said it himself. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's just looking like, well,
J.
I'm
Cole
giving you the
has
music.
just have a loyal fan base.
I'm giving you me, and it's still not good enough. Which is a tribute to why he hasn't really put out music since then.
Because he don't
like
give a
that.
fuck.
Right. But that switch
J. Cole's about the artistry.
But that switch
He's
of
like
not
Sasha
giving
Banks.
wow. Okay.
Gosh, man.
But
Dang,
that switch
son.
of not giving a fuck is really because he's not appreciated. So that's really what
He really is
triggered
not.
it.
He's not flashy.
He's
That's
not.
why. He's not.
So why is he complaining that he puts out false idols then? It comes out Kanye. See, nigga, see?
How, Sway? Elaborate on this.
See?
Since you want to bring it up, let's finish this.
See? You made a whole verse talking about Kanye being unappreciative of the fans that he has, and you come out and say the same thing.
Well,
Y'all quiet.
No,
Y'all quiet.
But I think
You do the same thing too.
I don't care. I know I'm a hypocrite.
Don't be a hypocrite. No.
Yeah, you do the same
How
thing.
you
I know I'm a
How
hypocrite.
you gonna be okay with being a hypocrite? That's hilarious. No, but I think for the most part though, Jermaine never says like I'm not appreciated or the fans don't appreciate me. Like I think it's just other people from the outside that sees it. Like he's never come out and said that shit. So I will say that.
Exactly.
And even personally meeting him, like he's really humble and he's really like he's smart, he's dope, and people just don't understand him.
Yo.
It's just like when you feel misunderstood, that's the same way that
Exactly.
nigga feels. The exact same
When
way.
your sympathy.
With my sympathy? I'm not. There's no sympathy for him. I just feel that J. Cole is the man already.
You think that?
I just listen. We're at a place where music is, you get your cult following and you just enjoy it. That's what it is.
This is why he's called the middle child. He came during around the time where that didn't matter.
Yo.
So now you have to understand. Hold on.
Oh,
Let
you're
me rip.
a middle child.
Let me rip. Understanding that he comes from, like, it's a culture shock. Where he was coming from before, he had to be a certain type of way. He had to transition to how he is today because it's your culture shock. Where CD numbers matters, now streaming matters.
But the thing about it, him selling 1 million was on streams. So that means he did even more than that. The thing about Jermaine for me is just that, yes, people are asleep on him. You can say that because he doesn't do Drake numbers. But the mere fact that he sells 1 million on streams means that his following, yes, it's a cult following, but it's bigger than a cult following. It's bigger than that. I can't say cult following. You can say Russ has a cult following, but Jermaine has a bigger than a cult following. And Jermaine don't give a fuck. That's another thing.
I will
because
say,
if he wanted to be bigger,
doesn't help.
like he could probably be a little bigger. I will say maybe he's not 100% for the love. Because I only fuck with mixtape Jermaine. Friday, like
Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Grow up, because I like a certain type of music.
But that's just like
So hold on. Wait.
That's like people that say like I love mixtape Wiz Khalifa. But when Wiz,
what I mean by
when
grow up
Wiz
is
made
just like, yo,
mainstream, I was
there's
just like,
other stuff for you to appreciate
this ain't
other
it.
than his
No,
mixtapes.
the thing about it, you're coming at my musical taste. so you need to chill.
You didn't listen.
No,
you
you
didn't listen.
told me to grow up. You use your words wisely, sir.
I did.
At first, I
said
thought you was
that-
saying an album. I'm saying
what
like,
I mean
grow
that
up.
there's
When
other
did
stuff
that
to
come out?
appreciate it. Like you gotta appreciate other stuff too. Like,
But
he
the thing
was at
is,
some fire
if
recently.
no, but
That's
the
what I
thing
mean.
is that it is a test to someone's musical taste. So, like I said, me liking mixtape Wiz versus mainstream Wiz, people may look at me like, well, why? But it's just like that was the music and that was the.
But I never said that he should not like that.
No. I know that's what you say. I know that's.
But what I'm saying is that he evolved to what he is today. But I enjoyed Friday Night Lights and all those other mixtapes. And then what happened with me with J. Cole? I'll keep it a buck. I know we have to move on to wrestling. His first album turned me completely off because that nigga listened to Jay-Z.
Nothing wrong with hoes. Don't do that.
Jay told him to do this, and then J. Cole followed, and that album was trash. Garbage.
It wasn't.
Basito.
It was.
And I was like, I'm not listening to this shit.
What was his first album?
What
What's his first album? What was on there?
Was it a Cold World?
It was the one with Mr. Nice Watch was on there.
And was
Trash
it-
ass song with Jay.
Don't do that.
Trash.
Don't do that.
Trash.
Don't do that. Anyway.
But I'm a Weeknd fan. And when people only say only like the Weeknd mixtape, I go, you're not evolving with my mans though. my
You know
man's.
what? I'm interested.
But
I'm interested to seeing what songs he's gonna select for Super Bowl.
the
I'm
thing
very
about it,
intrigued
but
by
the
that.
thing about it, The Weeknd said he was gonna change. He did
So
a
he
whole
warned niggas?
he did a whole entire song and a whole entire music video where he indirectly said he's gonna make a major change in his career because he decided to sign that big label. Cause I be following my nigga.
Clearly,
He said, I'm gonna change. Some of y'all gonna leave me, but the true fan's gonna stay. The true fan will stay. But the thing about it, hold up. He hasn't changed. He's still talking about fucking bitches,
wow,
sniffing coke, and eating ass.
wow,
Just like
he's
Kanye.
eating ass.
Weeknd is a nasty man.
Really?
And he talking about putting bitches in headlocks while you fucking them.
Wow.
I haven't tried that yet.
I'm
Neither.
surprised.
I haven't.
Really?
Somebody's watching it. I'm gonna try it.
And then when I said what I said before we got on film, I was in the wrong. Okay. I was wrong for what I said? No, I'm not. I don't know how you segue into wrestling after that. Well, I guess headlocks and choke locks and things like that. But anyway, anything else before we do move on to actually some wrestling topics before we get into that? Trying to think. Yo, I can't with this nigga. I can't. Someone's watching. I got you. What? Like, nigga, you just idle threaded
And
this
niggas
person?
call me weird, right? So
Nah, nigga, you a
never
little
put a
different,
chick in a
though.
headlock?
Why am I doing
What's
that?
the one wrestling move you have done on a female? Because I know niggas in here has done at least one wrestling move.
mad at them.
As Mikey.
I did a singer splash to a girl.
What? Nigga, off of what top rope? Oh, like what? Like where? What distance was that?
Why would you do a stinger splash on a bitch?
Yeah.
Where are you doing?
But like
The hallway
was
was
you
like-
you was
even
you
though, like-
ran from the so you
No,
ultimate warrior.
No,
That's what you're
I did
saying.
it. Let me finish. We was in a hotel. There's like a little hallway where you see the bathroom. So I was like, I'm gonna get her. So I ran.
Nigga, you
and
could
I
have
was
killed
like,
yourself.
Stinger splash.
She probably was confused as fuck.
You're not small though.
Yeah, right. And then if this was years ago, you definitely was not small. So
But the thing about it, and I know you're not a safe worker either, nigga. so
dislocating arms and shit. Get out of here. Okay, so stinger splash. I'm still very confused on that. Okay, and one more. 'Cause I know
Stinger splash. And does choking count as a wrestling move?
yeah, nigga.
They're choking.
Did you not see Timothy? No, Timothy Thatcher did a leg thing last
Yeah.
night. But.
So choking.
Okay, so Wilkins, before we do start topics of this week in wrestling move. that you
Oh,
done. Nigga, mad excited.
oh,
Oh.
definitely a headlock.
My turn.
Definitely a headlock. Crossface will be done soon.
Why are you guys like this? Listen,
You know
do
what?
not get any ideas from
know
these niggas
what?
whatsoever.
You know
hear
what?
me?
Jabari, Jabari said, "Wife drop kicks me. That is how I knew I would marry her." And I put her in the crossface.
So,
Did y'all niggas just have a whole wrestling match?
Y'all done do power bombs?
Oh, I definitely did a power bomb.
Classic.
Definitely power bombs.
Yeah, of course, classic.
Definitely. Remember when Brock used to do the double power bomb?
Oh!
I definitely done that before.
Oh! Like you was like, I'm about to let you go. Nah, got you.
Not gonna hold you. That's definitely happened in the club. So it's crazy. Oh my god, this is hilarious. I'm actually really afraid to even ask
Someone
you,
said, "I
but
put
I'm
her-"
not.
Someone said that I put her in a hurt lock.
You said what? You did a diamond cutter or something? What the fuck is wrong with you? Not on these parts. Not on this side of town.
Oh,
Because I will counter the fuck out of it.
Oh man.
Kenneth Stones from Dirty Hill said he did put the walls of Jericho.
I think that everybody put a girl on Walls of Jericho.
I've done that before too.
Yeah, Walls of Jericho, like the classic ankle lock. Oh yeah, it don't hurt. It don't hurt. Yes,
My
it
nigga,
does.
you fucking someone and putting them in an ankle lock? I don't judge, but I'm just asking. Is that like foreplay? Like, I'm just so like, what?
Yeah, like we wrestling and then we foreplaying. Next, my
Yo,
dick
if
comes
you-
out and then
Whoa.
we have sex.
There's a whole porno called Ultimate Surrender, where they wrestle and then they
What?
fuck after.
What? Okay. Oh God, what did I sign myself up for today? All right, let's talk about the big announcement that was made this week.
Hard justice.
outside of that, and Rebellion, they're doing Rebellion too.
Oh,
So we're gonna talk about Impact in a bit because I honestly feel
Little
like
New York?
I honestly feel like they're getting the short end of the stick for this whole like collaboration they have,
Nah.
and they don't really need them niggas, and that's just so we're gonna talk about that.
Go ahead.
We're gonna talk about
Let's
that.
talk about that later, but we gotta talk about Impact.
No, we're gonna get to
Because
Impact.
my son D'Lo Brown, once again, D'Lo.
I love him.
I'm gonna say D'Lo Brown and Max Striker
Yeah.
saved Impact
On the
commentary
commentary.
because
we spoke
it's
about
so
that
much
last week.
better. Saturday it was kind of rusty in the beginning. Then they got their flow. Then I saw on Tuesday.
But then on Tuesday
Whoa!
they was smooth sailing.
smooth,
yo,
smooth
why-
operator.
Yo, on some real shit. Stop hating on my man Josh Matthews, son.
No, Josh.
Doodoo.
No.
Doodoo.
Basuda.
Yo, y'all need to
Doodoo.
stop
Doodoo.
hating
Don't
on
do
my
that.
man
Doodoo.
Josh
Nah,
Matthews.
fuck that.
Stop disrespecting
Nah,
Josh
that
Matthews,
nigga
son.
did the right thing.
God.
He got promoted, and he's in the
Dollar
background.
General Michael Cole. Dollar
Yeah.
General Michael Cole.
Yeah.
Nah,
Trash.
you're disrespecting Josh Matthews,
It's not
son.
disrespect.
Trash.
It's just he's trash.
Trash.
And you
Interview
know that.
people. That's it.
And you know that was not
Trash.
Which I giving other people legend status.
Nah, like
from,
who?
From last week.
Oh,
who?
Alicia Fox, right? Oh, what's your excuse? Because you worked there long. Okay.
So Josh Matthews is a legend then.
You know what? You're right. You know what? Fine. Josh Matthews is a legend. A
Because he's
legend.
been around the game for a minute.
You want to do that to
And
people,
he,
right?
he was on WWE for mad
Mad
long.
long. That was-
Did
do
he
that,
start
right?
out? Did he start in Tough Enough or something?
Yeah.
He started in Tough
Yeah.
Enough. He started
Yeah.
in Tough. He
Tough
started in
Enough.
Tough Enough, and then he moved on.
Then he did backstage.
He did backstage. Then he did the
interviews
pre-show for pay-per-views
Yeah.
before they had like
before
pre-shows.
they did Renee and did all
Yeah.
of them at a higher level, and then he did
Yeah,
commentary.
he's a legend.
But like, okay, listen, y'all can say what you want, but
Gosh.
we all. I'm sorry, that nigga on Impact trash. Like you
Gosh.
zone out,
Trash.
and then you kept.
It's his voice.
Yeah,
He has a very monotone voice.
But yet he say dumb stuff.
just like Jr.
Well, listen, JR put in work in. It's kind of like, all right, he got a pass. Like eventually he's gonna fade out.
Jr. does not get a pass.
No. What
At
about
all.
pass is just like eventually, like you kind of put up with it a little bit. You hate it. You tell him it, but it's just like eventually, give it some time. He's gonna be in the backstage.
Oh
Eventually.
my God, I've just been waiting for it. But anyway, we're gonna get into some Impact shit, I promise. But let's start off by talking about the other talk of the town, which is the announcement that WrestleMania 37, I believe, right? Yeah,
What?
37 will be what?
Someone said that Josh Matthews better than Michael Cole. All right.
No, all right,
right.
you tripping. You just don't do that.
All right.
Anyway, WrestleMania has been announced that they will be at Raymond James Stadium for 2 nights. April, I think, was 11th and 12th down in Tampa, Florida.
It's in April, you said, right?
Yeah, April. So it's the weekend after Easter. So the second weekend in April, they'll do 2 nights at WrestleMania. They still are not. They're saying fans will be there. They're looking at 25% capacity, which was what?
It was mad niggas. It was
Was
like 25,000.
25,000?
Still mad niggas.
Yo, I mean, it is what it is.
But like they can space
But
it
you
out.
gotta space it out. They
Like,
can space it out.
people on this-
Like I told you guys in the group chat, they did it in the Kansas City Chiefs game. There were fans there, and niggas were spaced out.
No, I listen.
Did it look good on TV?
No, it looks horrible.
It didn't look that bad.
It looks like Dynamite.
Oh.
It didn't look that bad.
It looks bad.
It
The
did
thing
not
is-
look
the
that
thing
bad.
is-
they just can't. You just can't pan up high.
But then again,
Like,
it's
I wouldn't do
WWE. And
They'll
the difference-
figure it out. They'll
Yeah,
figure it
WWE because WWE
Because honestly, they
will
could
cover.
probably,
They
not
will
even cover. They
it.
probably will put in TVs. They'll probably figure out a way to put the Thunderdome involving
Yeah.
fans, which I
Yeah.
think would be dope too.
It's. I'm a little iffy about it, but I appreciate it because
The effort.
the effort
The
is
show
there.
is going on.
The show must go on.
So yeah, so they announced this year's WrestleMania will be back. The remix.
So
will be back in Tampa.
Kiki, Kanisha both said that New Japan made it work.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm not concerned about. Listen, I think now it's a year later. Corona's not going anywhere, and I think everyone needs to get that mentality together. What just happened to you? Somebody just got fired.
What happened?
Yo, the Eagles hired Adam Gase?
Oh, good luck with that, bro. Anyway,
What the fuck?
good luck with that.
Sorry.
So once again, this year Tampa Bay will host WrestleMania 2 nights. Then the following year they're gonna be back in bum ass Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania that year,
Disrespected a whole ass
2022. Yeah, fuck that. Cause I went when they was in Dallas last year, and honestly speaking, logistically, and because once again you don't know how the world's gonna be, but logistically, if I were gonna redo a city, I would have redid New Orleans again. But that's just me, and that's just selfish me. Because the stadium where AT&T Stadium is not in Dallas, it's in Arlington. It's honestly 30, 35 minutes away from downtown where the other shows would be. So, like, when we were there logistically, I got a hotel closer to the stadium, but it just was like everything was just out of the way. But that's just neither here nor there. So, the following year, they'll be in Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium. And then the following year, they'll be back. Well, they will be in LA at SoFi Stadium and in good old Inglewood for that WrestleMania in 2023. So, I think it's exciting. We can just briefly give our own opinions about it. I mean, I'm just waiting for tickets to be. Just let me know what tickets going to sell, type of thing. Because at this point, like, you got to think about it. And I told them in the group chat, I said, listen, the CDC has a travel ban. So honestly speaking, that cuts out a lot of international fans, which I think will help with the cap that they have. And then, I mean, them doing 2 nights, you can go one, you can go the other. It's still WrestleMania, so it still gives people the opportunity.
Not the same dogs.
I mean, I think if I was them, I would definitely create a 2-day pass and just do a ticket for that. But that's just me.
How you know that they don't have it in work?
I don't know that, but I'm just saying if I was on that meeting and I was on that team of how are we gonna do this, I would do that. But I don't think none of us at the table are surprised that they're going to Tampa because Florida's open as fuck. And everybody and their mama down there doing shit.
Florida's wild.
Yeah, I have no comment on this topic.
Florida's wild. No but to just to like quickly say it, the one thing I will give, you can give them shit. You can give wrestling people shit, but they continue trying to put the show on and give some type of entertainment to the people that enjoy the product. And it gives some sense of normality of being able to go to WrestleMania. 25,000 is a lot of people, but it's also not a lot of people. Depending, I don't know what the capacity of the place is. So
let's see.
So if it's 25%, it's like 25. What is it? 100,000 people can fit in there.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
But look it up, and I'm excited for LA. That's gonna be crazy.
Okay.
Like the amount of publicity they're gonna get because it's in Tinseltown. That's gonna be like,
and I absolutely love the little like
capacity?
WrestleMania report thing that they did. I thought it was really cute and very informative. Capacity is as of today, 65,618, but it can be expanded. So I think the maximum, that's how they get to 25%. The 25,000 is 75,000 is their capacity if it's expandable,
but
which
then
typically
again,
it is for WrestleMania because they have seats on the floor.
we don't know what's gonna happen from now until April.
Right, everything in this every day is an
Yeah.
evolving thing. I was surprised that they even were considering fans,
Right.
because they're also thinking about, well, if that works, then going back and doing live show like doing Raw and SmackDown with fans. So I think for me, I see it as the light at the end of the tunnel kind of concept.
It does. I mean, listen. This is,
and it gives you something to look forward to. And
Right.
I think that's what's missing just in life in general, all of us dealing with a pandemic is that kind of like looking forward to something.
I mean, honestly, listen. I reach a point that last year taught me the biggest thing is just like expect it or unexpected. Good or bad or the ugly. So we don't know what's gonna happen between now and April. You don't know if Joe comes up and say, "Yo, y'all been doing good
Uncle
and
Joe.
stuff like that. The country's open. We're booming. We're back in business." And on top of that, I put a little $1,000 in y'all people's pockets. Have a great summer.
I need that 1,400. I need them to get rid of student loans.
Facts. I'm heavy co-signing that
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I'm totally okay with no
Once
stimulus.
student
but
loans
cancel
gets
that
off of my
student
credit
loan.
report,
Woo! Shit, I can
once
buy a
that shit
house.
that shit is like
buy a
I'm buying a
house.
condo by the end of the year,
Yeah.
boy. like
honestly speaking, you get to that point where you're like priorities is like cool. Like honestly speaking, that little STEMI check is probably definitely gonna help with this WrestleMania trip. But listen, if Uncle Joe cancels these student loans, that's a whole different life.
Thing. I'm gonna be back. Let's make a super brief on this whole solo political thing. It makes sense to empower us first because we tried the Reagan way where trickle down effect. That doesn't work. Obviously, when we trickle up, it works better. We made Amazon $1 billion. We made because of y'all say UPS, FedEx, and all these shipping companies.
Fact.
There was times where there was literally no letters coming through. I was getting a truck full of packages. So it works,
But
everyone eats.
So what
in
I
this
think
situation. But the thing is, we live in a world where the rich is in the pockets in the bed with the politicians.
So what I think is gonna happen. So CDC just put out. Well, it was on Newsweek. I saw it on Joe Rogan when I was watching Undertaker.
What you're gonna talk about next?
And then which is a great segue, but they were talking about, and I saw it on 2 websites. I saw it on CNN actually. They said Newsweek. Joe Rogan said Newsweek, but I saw this on CNN. They said lockdowns don't work.
They don't.
They actually low key don't work and don't stop the spread of the virus. So with the new studies that's going on, and this goes back to wrestling, I do see fans coming out, but those tickets are gonna sell out like crazy.
That right, and that was the whole thing when me and Dick, this whole weekend. That's when everything was booming. Like WrestleMania's happening. Let's book flights. Because I found $100 round trip ticket for flight, and I was like,
do forget
shit
that everybody's gonna eat that weekend, right?
So that's the other thing too, because
I need New York to open back up.
Being down in Charlotte, shout out to Jabatia South. So being down in Charlotte too, and talking to the guys that work for that do like WrestleCon and stuff like that with high spots and stuff. Like I think the liability of how they couldn't get their money back for last year's shenanigans when the country shut down. Yeah. I don't think as many indie shows I don't think like a full WrestleMania weekend is gonna happen. I honestly don't see a takeover happening that weekend. I don't see as many indie shows. Like I think any promotions that are in Florida will probably want to do something, but I don't see it as crazy.
But there's local economy that's going to boom.
No. Listen, the city of Tampa, Florida is really going to be on some high note shit because they got the Super Bowl this year and they got WrestleMania this year. So, like, them niggas is going to be fine.
They're going to eat. They're going to eat really well, but let's go to the Undertaker.
Let's talk about my good Undertaker. When I wear my jeans jacket and love it. But Undertaker was recently on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he made, and I'm going to read the comment that he said, where the dead man feels like the WWE product is too soft. So I'm going to read and quote. He says, he's in terms of watching the current product. He says that things have become too soft. He said, it's tough right now for me. The product has changed so much and it's kind of off. I'll probably piss a lot of people off, but they need to hear it. It is what it is. To young guys who think he's a bitter old man, I'm not bitter. I did my time. I walked away when I wanted to walk away. Boss. I just think that the product is a little soft. There are guys here and there that have it etched in them, but there's too much pretty and not enough substance, I think, right now. And that is in regards to the current WWE product. So, question to the table. Do you agree or disagree with Undertaker? I don't think it's a far-fetched thing to think about. Because I think the era where he was, it was not, it's nothing compared, I think, to what's going on now. But do you think the current product is too soft? I mean, not including fireballs and people burning and things like that. But do you think the current WWE product is too soft?
So I think Mark doesn't know how to like say his words properly. What he means by substance is that a lot of these wrestlers are playing wrestlers.
Okay.
They're playing the character that they are. So a lot of them aren't wrestlers. They're playing a wrestler. So that's the substance that he's talking about a lot of times.
Okay.
And you can kind of see it. You can see it with a lot of wrestlers. Like this is just a job for them. And I think that's also what he's talking about. But also, he's also talking about, if you watch the interview, he's talking about characters being captivated. Like he was talking about, he was in kayfabe majority of his fucking career.
Yeah. 95%.
And so now that he was out like Joe Exotica with Tigers with his wife and taking pictures. So, do I agree with him? A little bit. But you also got to understand of who the wrestlers were back then and who the wrestlers are now. Mm-hmm. A lot of wrestlers back then, they know nothing about wrestling. They were former bodybuilders. They were former thugs. They were former whatever they were. They was looking for a job. Like Hulk Hogan was a former bodybuilder, like came into wrestling.
Scott Hall was a former bodyguard, killed someone, and then started wrestling.
And then started wrestling. And they're from a very toxic environment of old school. Because we all know what was going on back then. There was some wild shit.
Sex, drugs, and alcohol.
But there was some, like, imagine, let's speak within the black community. Imagine you get 8 Crip niggas, 8 blood niggas who never watch wrestling. and then you gave them, and then you was like, yo, you know what? I'm talking about hood ass motherfuckers. And you tell them like, yo, I'm gonna teach you how to wrestle, and make you some money.
They're gonna take it.
They're gonna take it, but they're still gonna have that lifestyle in them. A lot of them won't change. Now you go to the current product of the current product and the current wrestlers of today. A lot of them are regular people, regular guys who some are nerdy guys who, you know, they are playing a character on TV. They used to be, you know, the nerds. They used to get picked on, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But they love wrestling. And I think that's where he's seeing it. But Mark has to also understand, like, you got to evolve.
Yeah, the business is a little different.
The difference is the business is different. And this goes back to, like, when people talk about music, people talk about any type of art form, where it's like, back in the day, my shit was better.
Or even sports, like how people talk about different, you know, in football, they talk about how this call wouldn't have been a call made 10 years ago. And it's just like, well, it's not 10 years ago anymore. Things have changed. Things are different. You want people to be a little bit more safer because, you know, back in that day aspect, it was more raw and intense and kind of more of a free for all where it was just like get in where you fit in.
But it was a bunch of wild motherfuckers. Like you ever have a job and then you get a new boss? Like before that new boss comes in, and shit is wild. But if you listen to the interview, he talks about that, how things did change. Like it was a wild time. And he says soft, but I don't think he shouldn't have used that word.
So what word do you think he should have used?
It's just that things are just different. It's a more structured environment, because he talked about, and I didn't even know this. I kind of knew this, but I didn't, because Kevin Nash said it. They had no trainers back then. They had no medics.
Yeah, no.
They had it was like, Kevin Nash said this actually. He was like, yo, if you fuck up your ankle, one of the Japanese guys who kind of knows a little bit will kind of snap it back into place and to tape it up.
I believe it.
And then there was no drug testing because everybody was high off of shit. Mm-hmm. You wrestle literally 300 days out the year. And I'm just saying what it really comes down to, shit has changed, Mark, and you kind of got to adjust to it. But then he also said something, and it's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You should help. Because he was like, a lot of the guys who came up with him all aged out with each other. Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, a couple of other dudes. We all aged out, so they couldn't bring the young guys up to help them out. Well, that's also because of politics. Mm-hmm. Let's not talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he didn't say nothing about that, right?
Yeah, but
and you was the judge for Wrestlers Court, right?
Yeah, but the one thing
you contribute to the toxic environment when the young people's coming up. Come on, Mark.
But the one thing I will say, if you listen to the whole interview, he does big up Triple H and the Performing Center of how they're, breeding the guys out. And this will also go back to the other comment we got to talk about with Bully Ray.
But like I said before, I agree with everything you're saying, but everybody's making a big deal about it because he didn't do it in a very traditional wrestling platform. He did it on the most popular podcast out here, the Joe Rogan podcast. So, of course, it's going to be on a bigger deal. So, he's one of the last cowboys from that era. So, him saying this, he said nothing different than every other guy saying.
True.
Nothing. So, people hyping it up. Oh, my gosh, Mark said this. Dude, I'm looking like, he said nothing out the ordinary.
But he's more respected than everybody else. And he's also on a bigger platform.
But I think though, I like Sir Wilkins mentioned, I think the word is what triggered people.
I understand that, but many other wrestlers said the same thing too. Such as Shawn Michaels probably has said that.
No.
And other guys, I said probably said, I'm not too sure. But he's probably said it in a way that it's more cleaned up than him. He probably said the same message, but you took it a lot better because he gave it to you in the candy form.
No,
Mark gave it to you.
Sheik has said it. I think Sheik has said it. Animal has said it.
Well, Batista said it.
Batista Loki probably said it. But they're all from that same era, my nigga. Like,
exactly, I have to say that.
Drugs, alcohol, and random pussy.
And him, the most stupidest thing, my nigga, this is not a flex. You sound stupid. Oh, back in my day, we had guns and drugs in our bags, and now they have video games. Yes, because we want to go home at night. And yes, we take this as a job because, we are in control of our destiny. We understand that, if we get fired, we have to have other income.
And I think,
go
ahead.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
And a lot of times, that's all they had was wrestling. Of course you were stressed out. Of course you was worried about people going to steal your stuff.
But he said that in an interview.
Right. So everybody Of course, everybody only took that snippet, and that's all they did.
Because I watched it, because it's funny, because you're saying all of that. They talked about it, because the thing about it, it popped up on Twitter. And you know how Twitter is. They were going in on him. They're like, yo, he's old. Like, yo, why is he bugging out? And I was like, yo, let me watch this shit. Because honestly, Joe Rogan does good interviews.
Exactly.
Like, when somebody comes up there, they're speaking for 3 hours.
Exactly.
And they're just talking. Like, but so to go back to Undertaker, he did say the things that you said. He was like, yo, we were fucked up.
Exactly.
He said we were doing 300 days out. We were doing 300 days out the year. He said he worked 270 days for 10 years straight.
That's
Exactly.
wild.
But to continue what I'm saying is everybody's going crazy for no reason. Everybody's so quick to react to something instead of hearing the whole message. You know, how many times that we got misquoted by saying one thing, and I said, did you watch the rest of the interview? Oh, blah, 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 blah. What you say with that? But I further explained this, and I said this.
But the thing is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yo, I understand that.
But
at some point, yo, it's but so much I could do.
But the thing, it's not about you. It's like, yo, you are the biggest wrestler in the world outside The Rock and John Cena. Undertaker,
They do a fucking parade for that
like
nigga in
Undertaker
Saudi.
is literally multi-generation. Like, your grandmother knows who Undertaker is. Your mother knows. Like, people who don't even never watch wrestling a day in
I
your
know that
life
guy.
knows who the Undertaker is. So when you get on such a large platform, and I'm not mad at him for saying it, because there's some truth
There's
to
some
it.
truth, yeah.
But when you get on such a
agree.
large platform, the Joe Rogan podcast does 1 million hits.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing about it, you gotta protect the business. The reason why I don't like CM Punk sometimes is most of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, is because he bitched for a business that made you money. And
I understand that. I definitely I understand that. You always say talk about the business, but at some point, yo, listen, if someone asks me a question, I'm gonna be honest. We don't live in a world that you can't look on the internet to find out the truth. We don't live in the era where the truth is not out there, that you have, like, before, you have to go to leaps and bounds just to find out the results from early. Now, go on my smartphone, it's right there. So it's a different land that we live in. So
Right.
him being truthful ain't nothing new. It's been happening ever since the beginning of YouTube.
But the
probably
thing
before
about it,
that.
I don't think he meant it as them being soft per se.
Like, yeah, because when you think, because like when you brought it up in the chat, I was like, soft. I was like, damn. But how I took it was, once again, it's a different era. So, like, for me, it's more or less like for instance, Xavier Woods had kind of commented on Undertaker's comment and basically was like, I look up to those that come before me, and I take some of their advice to the point where it's like some of them have told me, like, listen, there's life after wrestling. Listen, save your money. Listen, don't hurt yourself. Don't put yourself in a position where your body's going to be in jeopardy and things like that. So, like, the whole, like, idea of, like, them having video games and backstage and stuff like that is just, once again, you're opening up a different revenue avenue for you to, when wrestling is not a part of your life anymore, that you have something. Because I think that's the number one thing, whether it's past, present, or future, that wrestlers don't think of, is life after wrestling.
And Undertaker, I'm going to say this, just like the other old guys, what a lot of old guys don't understanding is, all you know is just, you know wrestling, your world is pro wrestling, right? Let me finish. Pro wrestling. He knows early wrestling entertainment. He doesn't know wrestling entertainment right now. Meaning that if he was smart, he would say, yo, listen, I want to be in a Dark Souls game. I want to be a Devil May Cry game. I would sell my likeness to all these Mortal Kombat. Understand that my likeness can make me so much money, but he don't understand that.
But the thing about he is
But
doing
he
that.
is.
He is doing that. He is doing that. He has
He
the
is.
T-shirts. Because if you looked at, remember the documentary, he hired a PR team. But the thing about it, but hold on, we're taking away from what he's really talking about. He isn't talking about them as people. He's talking about it on TV and the character and the feelings. Because at the end of the day, what did Vince tell AJ Styles? Vince told AJ Styles, hey, I have a bunch of you here. I need a pit bull. Who did Undertaker have his last match with?
AJ.
Exactly. This isn't about what they do outside. And I brought up there are people what they did before, because when you've been through shit and then you entertain with it, you feel it.
But
hold on, wait.
I'm gonna say something that he said. And this was all what he said. This also, he said, the wrestlers don't try to entertain the boys; they entertain the internet. And this is why I said the pandemic did justice for wrestling, because you didn't have those audience no more. You had your peers out there saying that, nigga, that was trash. Go back there and do it again.
But yes, because it was like Shakespeare in the Park in an empty arena.
And because the pandemic era, it went back to that.
Yeah, and the thing about it, but once again, it's
and a lot of us didn't appreciate it.
But once again, it goes back to the reason why is because some dudes just come here because I'm a wrestling fan. I'm gonna start wrestling. Not where this is my livelihood.
This is my life.
I feed my family like.
But that's how everything starts.
But I get that.
Not for everyone.
Not for everybody.
Not for
a lot of
everyone,
people, because I'll give you an example. Warhol, right? He did an interview. He was talking about how he had a WWE tryout. He thought he had it. He was like, yo, this is something I always love. This is something I always want to fucking be with. Like, I fucking love wrestling. This is something because this is my livelihood. This is something I have. This is what I'm going to feed my family with. And then he's like, because so when you do the trial, you probably bunk with a couple of people. He's talking to other people, and they're all like, whatever. I'm just here. Like, who aren't into wrestling. That's what the Undertaker is saying, because at the end of the day, you connect to characters because you feel something.
Correct. Just like how you connect the most with Darby. There's a reason for that, and I think it goes, and we'll move on from this. But that's, I think, essentially what Taker really talks about in the interview, is just that idea of substance, and that idea of not even so much standing out, but there's no one you're really connecting with. And that sometimes is where we always compare the Attitude Era with.
But the thing is, you cannot put it all on performers, because prime example is if you let people go, you could get that out of them. For example,
but if you let people go, you still may not. The thing is that kind of 50-50 where you're not always
I'm not trying
sure.
to get flagged.
You're not always sure of if it's gonna connect. Like, you can let somebody like right now. Who's the one person right now that's like balls to the wall going, and regardless of them doing that, there's still gonna be some people that may not connect to that. So that's just always gonna be wrestling in general.
It's life. You're not always
gonna connect. Right. You're not always gonna connect with, just like how I love Cactus Jack. Didn't connect for me. Like and it's the same nigga. You see what I'm saying? Like or even with Undertaker.
Yeah.
My favorite is not everyone's favorite is American Badass or Dead Man. And I'm like, I ain't care for that. My favorite Taker was Ministry of Darkness. So once again, it's always gonna be like you as the person, what you connect to. Yeah. And because of that adds that flavor of when you're doing a storyline, when you're doing a promo, when you're doing a backstage interview, you're always gonna be excited to see that. Like, for instance, we gonna talk about Randall when we get to This Week in Wrestling, because baby, that way we opened up Raw, I was like, oh, let's watch this week, because then by the end we fell asleep, so I didn't understand what happened then. But we'll move on. Let's talk about, you mentioned Bully Ray real quick. Him and Booker T, they spoke on their podcast this week too. And I'm gonna read basically what Bully Ray had mentioned about the issues he see in AEW that he doesn't see in NXT. And he mentioned that the physicality and the work in the ring being solid in NXT, and that not being the case all the time in AEW. He says, and I quote, "A lot of times you watch AEW and the guys and gals are missing stuff." He said it can get indie-rific at times, and the NXT product is a lot more polished, and the work rate is extremely tight. So in response to Bully Ray's comments, Booker T said that it's hard to question AEW because they are still trying their best with what they have to present wrestling in a different way than what has been presented for years. So I say that in
I've been saying that.
No, I'm bringing it up to where, once again, if somebody else said this shit, they not a hater. But if we would have said this at this table, we would have been some haters.
But I'm gonna go first. What a lot of people don't understand is Billy Ray basically said everything I said, and people, because I argue with Stan dead I'd be move the goalposts. Love the nigga or something, but some of his arguments be like, what? Or he repeats the stuff I say. I'm looking like, nigga, I just said this. I'm done with this conversation. Nevertheless, though, he's right. He's going along with what I've been saying, me and my brother been saying. My brother is the top half, I'm the bottom half. No homo.
Pause.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so, like I said, you got to give them a chance. And it's not like they're not doing nothing. And you see them progressing. If you watch AEW, yesterday's episode to episode 1 is night and day. It's more segmented properly. Every week it's exciting. Some week it's like a full episode where they settle for the next week. Next week, like, oh, this is wrestling heavy. But every week they somehow put wrestling in there. So all I'm saying is this. A lot of people may not like it, but half of y'all haven't even drawn the way that these niggas been drawing on indies. And collectively, not everybody has a television deal. Not everybody got the chance to go to Impact. Not everybody got a chance to go to New Japan. Not everybody, like, in general, have not got a chance to work in front of an audience. They're trying. They have the Nightmare Factory.
Sorry. Steelers signed Dwayne Haskins to a 1-year contract.
So,
whoa.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let me finish. I'm sorry.
They're trying. And Billy Ray's giving them credit like, yo, they're trying. People are so quick just to hamper on them because they want instant results. We was not there in the beginning of WWE. We was not. When Vince took over, when you hear stories like, yo, it was kind of wild. It took him a while to get in a certain direction. The WWE style took a while. NXT, I bet you half the people was not watching NXT when it was a game show. Half the people was not watching NXT when it had 3 seasons of it was Redemption. Nobody watched NXT when it was Big E and all these other indie wrestlers still
Dallas,
trying to figure it out.
The
Nobody was watching it. You know? Nobody was watching it. Matter of fact, nobody was watching FCW because it was not on everywhere. It was a local Florida channel. So a lot of people don't know the struggles. So when you're watching something that's coming up from nothing,
when you're watching the struggles,
you have to understand that you gotta give people leadway. Yes, the criticism that Billy Ray, he said he gave it a criticism, but he understands that my words have power. So let me understand that, yo, I see it. This is my opinion, but I also understand that, yo, it's gonna take a while because he came from a company that, yo, some terrible workers, terrible, and so many niggas was not safe in that ring. But yet, F it.
So it's you're right. You're right from what you're saying, but my biggest thing is that people keep saying it's okay. That's my problem. I understand that it's a brand new company. But people keep saying that the wrestling is amazing. That's not the things you mentioned was a lot about production. A lot about moving
the flow of the show.
The show. What Billy Ray is a lot talking about is the in-ring stuff that happens on AEW.
Yeah, it's still.
Hold on. That's less production and more the physicality and more about the in-ring work.
It got better.
Hold on. It had to get better. But the thing about it, last week we mentioned about what Cody said. How that Cody said the same thing, there's too much freedom because you hire some of the best producers in the business.
Got Jerry fucking Lynn in the building. The fuck?
Some of the best producers in the business. What a producer does, it helps structure a match. And a lot of the times, we don't see that. And that's the majority of the show. Where my issue is, if it was 50% of the show, cool. 25% of the show, cool. But when the majority of the show, besides your top-heavy EVPs who are amazing wrestlers, Kenny,
outside
the Young Bucks,
event.
Cody, and especially Cody, the wrestling is not made for TV. Chris Statlander said the same thing about a lot of people on that roster can't wrestle for TV. I understand that. You know what? They pillaged the independent scene.
The purge, the fuck out of it.
So I totally get why people can't work TV.
Makes sense.
But
Makes sense.
When you have the tools, why aren't you using them? That's my issue, because the tools are there for the people to get better. And if this was the first 3 months, first 4 months, we're going over a year now, and it's still top heavy. Yesterday was okay because you know what I enjoyed? Matt Hardy's taking the private party under his wing. where they're learning how to wrestle better on TV. So I've seen that. But what I say, it's a producer, former wrestler being used. Also goes back to what Undertaker talked about. People helping each other out.
See, but I feel like with AEW, not that it's an issue, but I do feel like it's always there's always like a team, like, and I love stables, so don't get me wrong, but I always feel like it's always one person that's like leading the crew, and it's just like, can one person have their own? Like, honestly speaking, the shit with Adam Page, it really grinds my gear because I don't know what the fuck they want to do with that nigga. And I
don't like John Moxley.
And I just would be so confused. Like, what do you want to do with him? You put him with Kenny. You had him lose the title match to Jericho. You put him with Kenny. They win the tag belts. Nothing happens out of it. There's no storyline with Adam Page.
Like, yes, it is.
There's nothing with that.
Yes, there is. I'm going to say this. I'm going to address with that. Before that is Cody and Jericho basically had like a production meeting on the podcast last time. They talked about how we're going to do certain changes to make sure that stuff don't overlap. They said, yeah, that's a good idea. Meaning that, put it on the board. Hey, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's going to take
time. There's no communication was among each other. So that's why.
Yo, it's totally fine because you got, you're right, because everybody involved in the company never ran a company before.
Exactly. So basically, I'm going to say this.
But when you have, but hold on, when you have people who have been there, listen to them.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is that's the Hangman Adam Page. This is one of the great long-term stories. For one, it was great. He's over here. They expected him to say yes, and then he said, "Yo, I've been in a group before. If you notice, little details."
You already knew he was gonna say no.
How you know?
Cause I know the fuck.
I'm not. Yo, listen. I'm not Miss Cleo.
Thank you.
A little too smart for
keyword. No, this is a television show, and that's the main thing.
No, the fuck.
And
yo, if that segment didn't, if I already knew what the fuck was gonna happen, versus you know what, and what they've been doing with fucking Rusev, I ain't really been too careful. But that fucking segment with him and fucking he calling Charles. I enjoyed that shit. I was like,
right, but
he said he call him Charles.
Right, but let me finish. But if it's like you saw the little details he did. He's still dealing with his alcoholism because he took the bottle.
Which is problematic as fuck.
It's a storyline.
It's cool though. I understand.
But it's a storyline. He's a storyline. And then I seen that it's just diagonal spot. Like, dang, son, there's a lot going on emotionally. He doesn't talk. You see him when the Loki came together. You saw him in the back like this looking like, dang, son, those are my boys. So for people who understand, who go through depression, that's how it goes. When you feel that everything around you is crumbling down, you're like, yo, you feel like no matter how much goodness come along.
So maybe just you connected to it more.
Janelle, let me finish.
You dragging it out.
Please.
Because at the end of the day, it just really is.
You're
it
right.
really is. You're connected to it, and that's
You're
fine.
Right, you're right.
I'm not, and that's
Next
okay
topic.
too.
I wasn't finished.
But go ahead.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
Oh, what's the next topic?
Go ahead. Go. Finish what you gotta say because it's good. So. Come on. You want to teach the viewers about Adam Page's amazing storyline that I don't know nothing about. So go ahead. I want you to finish.
Nah.
Come on.
We'll
sit in silence. Go ahead. Finish.
No. What's next?
Finish.
He doesn't want to go. I did enjoy the Dark Order with Adam Page though. I you know what it is? So what my brother's trying to say is that it is long-term story booking. But the thing is, you have to understand he enjoys what's going on. So let's go to the next thing. What's on the docket?
I understood that point, but it's just like you have to also understand like not everybody's going to connect to it either. So it's not always a bashing of what actually is going on. It's just that I would rather it be a little different, but that's just me personally, and that's okay. That's all I was saying. But anyway, on to the next topic. As everyone is super excited about the new season of Dark Side of the Ring, because everyone was in. That was the only thing outside of wrestling being live that we enjoyed during the heart of the pandemic. So they once again resume recording, and basically they have already confirmed that they're going to do an episode on Brian Pillman, which I think is going to be dope. And also having, his son being involved, I think is dope too. They also are going to also have Grizzly Smith, who is the dad of Jake the Snake Roberts. And also, he also has two other siblings. I didn't even know Jake the Snake had two other siblings until I looked into this. I was like, the fuck? So you get to know about the family, the Smith family, which once again, Jake the Snake Roberts is included in that. So question to the table is, out of, I guess we could talk about the Brian Pillman because that one is definite, and that'll probably be one of the few, the first episodes that when the season comes out. What's one thing you actually want to learn more about Brian Pillman? That you may get out of, that you would want to see on the Dark Side of the Ring episode?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I studied Brian Pillman out the ass over the past whatever years I've been doing it. So I don't think there's nothing new that's gonna pop up. But I would love to hear from his son. That's one of the biggest takeaways I'll take. I probably will have from that. And I've never heard Stone Cold talk about Brian. I don't know if there's shoot interviews on there.
They did.
Yeah, he
He
talked about it on his podcast.
He talks about it a little bit, yeah.
Okay, 'cause I never really heard him talk about him. And that gun incident is so fucking classic.
Shout out to Kevin Kelly, who sold the fuck out of that entire thing.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, Mr. Black, what do you look forward to, or what do you want to learn from the Brian Pillman
I just want to
episode?
hear his son's side and his wife's side about the whole money situation, how they handle from WWE, how did they handle that. I want to hear his wife, how did she handle the grief, and what was going through her mind when she came on screen after his death to talk about it.
Okay. I think the one thing that I actually want Austin to talk about their tag team in WCW. I think hearing it from Austin's
Wasn't
point
like
of
the
view.
Beach Blonde or something like that?
The Hollywood Blondes,
yeah.
which now is kind of like a taken of what Brian Pillman Jr. is doing on AEW with his tag team partner, which I think is pretty cool too, and a homage to his dad. But I would love to hear Austin talk about their time in WCW and how it was being a tag team. Also, maybe hearing about if there were any influences from Paul Heyman at that time, because that was that transition from when Austin was chilling with him, and then they became a tag team and stuff like that. And then, Paul also had a hand in, him being in ECW and things like that. So those are kind of the two things. I definitely want to hear more on the tag team side. Like if Austin's telling the story, of course you want to hear about the incident on Raw, but I personally would want to hear about their tenure as a tag team in WCW and where did it go wrong? Like why didn't it pop off the way that it did? So those are kind of the things I'm thinking about.
I think they didn't know what to do with them. A lot of times it's just the booking.
Yeah. Real quick, rumor of this week that I heard through the grapevine. Read an article that Chad Gable was on the bump earlier this week, and he mentioned that Jason Jordan is now training for some maybe possible in-ring comeback. So question to the table is, do you miss Jason Jordan? And what right now, though you see the current roster, who would you, if he does come back, who would you like to see him wrestle?
I would throw him back in the tag. Like put him back in the tag division.
Tag is safer, so I would.
Yeah, I'll put him back in the tag division, and also like just have him do some shit, because the tag division in WWE is weak for the most part. Not enough tags, because supposedly Vince doesn't like tag teams. But like throw him back in there. He stays. He preserves his body. He can do shit. And then him and Gable were amazing in NXT.
When I read the article that them being a tag and debuting in NXT was 6 years ago, I was like, where did the time go? Like, why is it 6 years ago? Mr. Black, who would you like to see Jason Jordan face?
I just think I agree. Keep him in the tag team. It'll allow him to get his if you listen to Chad Gable talks on the Behind the Bell podcast, they said that was his rival, but as a friendly rivalry, they always push each other to do better. So having someone like that around, to keep you in the ring, keep you focused, your best friend, put him back in there. And from there is you can have Kurt Angle mentor them, and not have hit and break up, but have them really strong, revitalize, Kurt Angle could beef with the Hurt Business right there and then. He's like, yo, Kurt, this how you gonna do me, Kurt? Next thing you know, Shelton Benjamin with Cedric Alexander versus, American Alpha. We could go at it.
That'd be dope.
So right there and then, there's so many money matches you could have. But of course, you could go with the simple him and Riddle. They put him, Dame put him in that pit. And if you really want to test them, put him in UK. Him and Walter go at it. Come on. Come on.
I'm not trying to break his neck again.
Listen.
Walter don't be caring, son.
Right? But that would definitely that was like, come on.
That'll hit because
An
Walter
African American born dude over there in UK tearing it up. Shout out to Darius Lockhart. You know, I see you out there. Darius like killing it out there. I see you out there, King. Shoot, part of the job to South. Shout out to Yaya.
Side note, shout out to TJ Boss for winning the PWX X16 tournament this past weekend that I was there for. I was super hyped to see him.
A couple of people said that.
And what?
They agree that he should go to Hurt Business.
I don't want the Hurt Business.
No, I don't want him in the Hurt Business.
No. He should beef with the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
No, he said let MVP mentor him.
Yeah, but I just feel like the Hurt Business is good as it is.
He be the light-skinned nigga.
Again, the Hurt Business.
You don't need a light-skinned nigga to ruin
right,
shit.
but the Hurt Business need people to beef with. They need rivalries.
And I think that's the lack of what's going on with the Hurt Business is because the same shit, if every week you're going against fucking Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
If he's not going to be the Owen Hart to your fucking nation at this point, I really don't care anymore.
We keep people
They should make him join.
The last 2 weeks they keep fucking him up, and I'm like, yo, can he just be the Owen Hart to this group and join them? Because he's not doing anything.
Like at this point, I'm tired of putting all like just because they're black putting them in Hurt Business. No, I'm sorry, I'm about to go off from this. Yo, the Hurt Business beefing on MLK Day does not mean nothing. That just sounds mad dumb. Y'all just nitpicking that stuff. Jesus Christ, it's getting on my damn nerves. Dang it, man. And when they don't follow the story consistently, y'all complain. Dang, shut up with that. I don't stop beefing with somebody on Black History Month. No, it's on site when I see you. I don't care if it's Black History Month. I don't care if it's Christmas. I don't care if it's my mom's birthday. I don't care if it's my birthday. It's on site when I see you on any day. If beef is that serious, no matter what the day is, the weather, it's on site. Simple.
Well, they're not really beefing. They've
been beefing.
Little issues, you feel me?
They have family issues. Cause, like,
exactly.
When I watch
family don't stop beefing no holiday.
Family we beef all the time.
Christmas.
We beef all the time. So and we still here every week. So at the end of the day, shit happens. But no, I always look at it like Bobby being the older brother and being like, yo, y'all gotta chill out. Like, come on, it's bigger than this. Like, so I actually love the whole, like, because their personalities bash all the time.
And
that's just what brotherhood is about. Correct.
Like,
I agree.
Yo, it's characters. Yo, at some point it's gonna be tension. When the shit had a little bit of tension, yo, it still worked.
And then guess what? And then when y'all niggas think they weak, that's when they gonna be the strongest.
Come on, B.
Come on.
See, yo, stop. One thing I learned over the holidays, like when you get woke, you get too woke sometimes. You think that everything is against you. Like, no, go to sleep sometimes, B. Like, get 8 hours of sleep. Dang.
And that was the rant by Mrblacc. All right, let's jump into, since we got a good, I would say 30 minutes left, let's jump into some Impact. This week was Hard to Kill. Shout outs to the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Miss Tasha Steelz, who is, of course, a family member of the Jabba Tears podcast, and Miss Kiera Hogan. So to see that.
Oh, shout out to them who did some of my first interviews. You know, if you enjoy the Jabba Tears and you enjoy Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, please check out the Talk to Us segment underneath the playlist. And yes, it'll be in the description below. One of my friendly interviews with me and Tasha Steelz. And of course, you know, with the beautiful Kiera Hogan, please check those interviews out.
I totally forgot I did that.
Yes, and also did an interview with Big Swole.
Yeah, of course. That's sis.
Shit is mad old.
But yeah, right. Like when I think about it, I'm like, yo, that was a long time ago. Oh my God.
People don't understand. B.
But the struggle's been real for years.
Shout out to Battle Club. Shout out to Joe Kim Noah.
Joe Kim Morales?
Huh? That's what I call him, dog.
That's what you call him. That's why I'm laughing. But yes, this week it was Hard to Kill. Deonna Purrazzo retained her, which I thought was a really good match. Her and Tyra went at it. It was rough for a second.
Tyra's really good.
Yo, Tyra Valkyrie is good.
I'm surprised she's not signed somewhere else.
Well, no, she actually likes being, I think, there.
But
because
her contract's
remember,
up.
her contract, I think she has another year.
No, Kiara, no, the one that who was fighting, what's her name?
Deonna?
Deonna
Purrazzo?
Yeah, she left.
Who left?
What's her name? John Morrison's wife, right?
Yeah.
She left.
Her contract's up already? I thought she had a few more years.
No, like it was up in September. She kept on. She wanted to put what's her name's over, and then on Tuesday she went to jail because comes to find out that she shot the dude. Yeah. She's going to jail either in Jacksonville or Stanford. Yeah.
I'm dead.
Yeah. So
no, but
going to jail.
But I think it's a play for her to end up on AEW because they doing the crossover thing, which honestly I just don't care. I don't care for it.
You don't
anymore.
care for it
because I just think Impact can do so much better on their own.
But they
Like,
have other
don't-
storylines around it. Just like how my son, Rich Swan, came out and said, Kane's doing whatever. I ain't worrying about that. But you, Moose, it's my turn.
First of all, for Moose to come out with the fake ass belt, they want to be like, I'm coming from the real ass belt. I said, wait a minute. What the fuck are you doing? But I'm intrigued. I was like, what? Like,
So
you wait months and now you want a real title? I'm so confused.
this whole AEW Impact thing has nothing to do with Impact. This is strictly Kenny.
Which is why I don't think it benefits Impact.
'Cause it's strictly Kenny to hang out with his boys.
But it's still good, though, because people said a private party wasn't great on television. But now, look, they if you realize the in-ring still got better.
It's because of Matt.
And you need that. So I'm happy for private party. It was a great
But
surprise.
see, I think sometimes when you're in, not saying AEW is the big pond, but when you're in kind of a medium pond like Impact, it looks better. It looks different.
But they look good last night, too.
No, that's what I'm saying. I honestly think they look better on Impact than they have
Well,
on
because
AEW.
they're getting more reps. It takes a lot of reps. Because remember, a lot of things come into factor. Most of these people work 1 day a week.
Right.
There's no house shows,
I've been saying that.
so they work 1 day a week.
They in and they
But
out.
but the thing about it, with having Matt, you're learning more. Which you're learning about. Okay,
And
cool.
Matt has a ring.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's like little things that you can do on TV and little things that will help. It doesn't even have, you don't even need a ring. You just need to like, yo, hey, you see how you were making your face the last time? You see, slow down. Do little things. Matt's been in the business for over 20 years. So it helps
And
that
been
they're
a
with
tag
Matt
team,
Hardy.
So I think them
And that's
having
legend right there.
I think them having a tag team like specialist in a sense
Yeah, he's a legend right
is
there.
definitely, yeah, I agree.
That's what
It's
you call a legend.
yeah, that is definition. Yes,
Like, he literally went from a jobber to, like, who he in right now.
them niggas look like the Rockers and came out and then ended up winning the first. Like, it's hilarious. Anyway, but like I've been saying, I think that Impact has definitely been on a roll. I think it's unfortunate though, rating wise, it was their lowest this past week since November, which is weird.
Impact?
Yeah, which was weird, but
Does nothing for them. That show does.
I just don't think like I think, and it's something like even like for work. So at my job, we have this partnership with DoorDash. I think it's trash as fuck. Like I tell my marketing manager all the time, like, listen, I've worked in sales over 5 years. I said at the end of the day, if we have a partnership, both parties need to benefit. And I honestly don't see Impact. I mean, granted, there's going to always be a little bit of a benefit because you're going to have people that never watch Impact, that watch AEW and see these guys and be like, oh, I'm going to watch Impact next week. But then you may only cap them 1 week because Kenny's on it, and the next week they don't give a fuck. So, like, unless, and it's only been like a handful of people, too, that's been doing the crossover thing. So that's why I think Tyra going over to AEW, if they did that, it to me would, all right, now we're getting the ball rolling.
But NXT, if her contract is up, she might go to NXT.
Oh, and husband.
But her
in
husband's
WWE.
there, yeah. So, but what else I was
money,
gonna
too.
say about Impact? But I think the shit was this Ethan Page, Jesus Christ,
Oh yeah, they.
and him. But the thing is, bro, you want to sit there and say you don't have creative control, but it's just like, but you sat there and did all that shit. So.
You know what he didn't do, and it was on him.
Right.
The company
Correct.
asked him, "Yo, can you put your partner over before you leave?" He said no.
Correct.
So I'm on some like, yo, we asked you to do this. It benefits not only you, but it benefits your partner. So now you want to be selfish? Okay.
What's with some of these wrestlers who are so selfish?
I don't get it because
A lot of them have this me mentality, and guess what? A lot of them never played sports. Simple. The one thing I realized that everybody, not sports, but everybody should at least be in
Like
some
a
kind of
team.
team. Some kind of team understand that, yo, everybody plays a part, and you have to see the bigger picture.
But it goes back to what Undertaker said. Like the mentality changes. It's a mentality thing. It's like with Tesla, the Tesla situation. Another example. Like people are selfish, and I've had older heads tell me wrestlers are the most selfish people in the world. Because remember this, it's you trying to be put over, but
With entertainment too. Entertainment in general.
Entertainment in general, but
yeah.
at the same time, it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like in terms of, I think it's funny because you see, it's like both sides of the coin. You see wrestlers that start off as a tag team and they build up their brand and do this, and then some people can branch out and be fine on their own. Some people cannot do it. And I think when it goes to Ethan Page, I love them as a tag team with Alexander. I think it's Alexander Wolf. I love them as a tag team.
But the other guy's better though.
Correct.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
As far as like his like had like.
I think in terms of wrestling,
yeah,
technicality, his partner was better. But I think in terms of character and on the mic, Ethan was better.
Yeah.
So that's why it worked. But I would love.
But his partners did. His promo he shot last week. This week was good though. Like I felt him.
Yeah.
But he's got like overall. Listen, Hardcore was good, but I enjoyed that barbarian match. Woo-wee!
Because you like the hardcore.
Yeah,
shit.
no. I like that kind of hardcore. I don't like deathmatch hardcore.
You're like, no, deathmatch is a different type of.
like,
No, that shit is not. That's a dub.
No.
Something that John Moxley loves.
You gonna. All right, let's talk about it. What's
So
your
did
beef?
Mick Foley. You don't get it on his case though, right?
And so did
okay.
Terry. Terry Funk, definitely.
Okay.
But you know what they had?
What?
What Terry Funk and
Legendary status.
yeah.
That's how you feel.
That's well, I can feel
That's
that
the
way.
truth.
Yeah. I can feel that
You
way.
do not
Terry
relate to John
Funk.
Moxley. That's why.
Terry Funk is a legend.
You don't.
Mick
You
Foley's a
don't.
legend.
You don't. But you
Okay.
don't.
But the thing is, you
There's
know what?
certain guys you
what
just
I
don't
will
relate
give you
to.
though is that you keep the same energy because you didn't fuck with Dean Ambrose, and I give you that.
I've never liked the nigga.
Never like.
I don't think he has it.
Same energy though. I give him.
And
that.
everybody has yelled at me and told me, like I said on the post the other day, that nigga's Aquaman, son.
Wow.
Yeah, you've done dope shit, but you still ain't cool like Superman and Batman.
That's what you think.
Wow. All right, real quick. This week in wrestling, we'll start off from SmackDown last week, and we'll go through the week of things what's something that stuck out to you.
SmackDown feels so far away, son.
It's because of how we record, so it's almost like we're a week behind.
Yeah.
So we don't get to talk about it until the day before.
And the problem with
actually a new one
WWE,
comes
like
on.
they don't put out previews to hype you up for Friday.
No, they do. And they somehow,
Tomorrow.
some way, no. They somehow, some way always talk about they replayed the Roman shit on Raw.
No. I'm talking about they don't have like, oh, this week coming up. Like on UFC, they say the fight's coming up.
Oh, they do that.
But they don't do it
that.
early enough. They don't do it like today. They do.
It depends. If you watch
FS1,
they play it.
They play that shit all the time.
I don't watch
because
that.
every time I watch like Undisputed, they'll
They'll
start.
play, yeah.
They'll play
so
that
like
shit.
all
Okay,
like
okay.
the Fox channels, like
the Fox
that are
channel does
sports,
that?
Yeah.
they do that. So like one time I was in the laundromat at like 10 o'clock at night, and they were playing SmackDown on FS1, and I was like, the fuck.
Oh,
is
they
this?
do that. They do that. All right.
So
No,
they
but
do
they,
it.
They play commercials like
But it's just hard, I think, just for us because of how we record. So for us, it's like,
Biggie's fighting what's his name this week this
First
Friday.
of all, Big E and that white couch. I said, oh God.
Once again,
Hilarious. I love
overall,
it. With the fruit cup. The big ass fruit. It wasn't even like, like a miniature
Crazy
fruit cup.
thing
It was like
about
a
it-
fruit cup.
Biggie, the New Day, all this generation of wrestlers taught us that there's many one way to get over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I'm noticing because back in the day, no one took Biggie seriously. Now we're looking like, okay, I know a guy just like that down the street though, but yet he has hands, but yet he's the most famous guy ever.
I don't think it's that. I think it's you're over. It is that you have to get the opportunity to do it,
And I think,
you have to
I
get the
agree to
freedom
that.
to do
And
it.
the company to stay behind you.
It's, yeah,
And
of course.
I think them giving him the IC title now, first of all, now that, and in all honesty, 80% of the niggas that have a title are black in WWE. I really don't want to, no one can deny that shit.
Yeah.
And I think now because, Rumble's next week and, kind of we're on that road to WrestleMania for the Hurt Business to still be the tag team champions going into WrestleMania.
And the US.
For the US champion to still be US champion going to WrestleMania. For him to be IC champion going into WrestleMania, and to be able to have a match that can be on a bigger scale on a platform like that, you can't deny that.
Yo, have you noticed that they're protecting the shit out of Bobby Lashley?
Absolutely.
I'm hearing
Every
that.
fucking
I'm
week.
hearing that Brock. I guess 2020 put some sense into it. It's just like he don't want to be a bad guy. He want to put people over. It's either be him versus Kevin Owens or him versus Bobby.
Yeah, for Mania, they're
I
in the
feel like
talks of that.
honestly, he should do both.
He should
like
do Bobby.
Let me finish. I feel like Kevin Owens is a summertime wrestler because he's the type of dude
Why?
that
Because
goes out.
why? Because he wears basketball shorts?
You're annoying.
Certain wrestlers are summertime wrestlers, like Shinsuke. That's a summertime wrestler.
Woo! Shout out to them giving back his old music
Because he
because
wears
he
a
wore the
slipper
onesie.
suit?
I fucking
Yo,
hear you.
Mike, there's certain rappers, it's their summer. They're just summertime hot. Every other year, like, they can still put out bangers, but the summertime looking like, It's just them. Like Fab. You know Fab gonna put out a mixtape.
Fab is definitely summertime.
Summertime Fab.
Like, don't nobody want to hear Fab in the winter.
Jim Jones, Dipset niggas, summertime niggas.
Because that's
You
how
know?
niggas used to be, like, legit.
Yo, someone new. Drake, summertime niggas. Yo,
No, Drake
is
is all year
Drake is
long.
like a fall.
Drake is all year long.
Drake is like fall
Don't
winter.
disrespect the
He got
Canadian
one
God.
hit.
Don't do that.
666.
Exactly.
I hate you.
Like, certain wrestlers are summertime wrestlers.
So you think Kevin Owens
Bobby
and Brock,
Lashley is a wintertime wrestler.
I agree.
Why?
'Cause he's black.
Why is he?
Because you know why?
Why?
Because
I need you to understand.
because
Explain
I
this.
I'm
see
explaining
it.
to you.
I get it.
Because I just feel
I
like,
get it.
yo, he's the type of wrestler where like he packs arenas. Like the arena, I just feel
Alright,
like when he
that's a
comes
try.
out because he came from that UFC background. It's intimate. Everyone's on top of each other. You hear
Pause.
the roar. Him go, ah, yeah. Shinsuke is the dude where like you see him the summertime commercials like chilling there like yeah. Kevin Owens is like you see him because he's such like a intense dude like he does so much. Summertime you do a lot. Wintertime but so much you could do. Bobby's the type of dude like he go in he go out. You like yo I need that raw.
I don't understand what you're saying, but I get it.
No, I
it.
get, like,
I get
I
it.
got it
Sorry,
from the
wrestlers.
beginning.
But that shit, your explanation made no sense.
Trash.
But I
But-
understand you. For some reason, I understand you.
Bobby
That's your brother.
and
That's
Brock
your
Lesnar should go
brother.
at it at WrestleMania.
Correct. And
then he transitioned to
But I want
Kevin
them to
Owens.
do it in a way where it's a big fight feel.
Oh yes.
So the way
Which
that
is why
so the way that they did
Rumble needs to happen where Brock needs to enter the Rumble as a surprise. No one's gonna see it coming. And that whole remember last year with Keith Lee and Brock image like that snapshot happened.
yeah.
That needs to be him and Bobby
Yeah.
as
to
a
test
snapshot.
it. Test it.
And then honestly speaking, Bobby needs to probably eliminate him to start it off. Take it
just-
off.
No, I think that's the thing that works. I just want them to, I don't know, you guys saw NXT because it goes into the week of wrestling.
Yeah.
With Timothy Thatcher versus
Yeah. Oh, that's a big fight.
We
Phil.
watched the
you,
clip
you,
in the
you
in
see
the
how that
Uber.
feel? I want it to be like that, but on a bigger level.
The thing is,
Like I want a press conference. I want to like those little things because they've been protecting the shit out of Bobby
yeah.
the past month.
and the good thing
Absolutely.
about it, not only they are protecting him. If you notice that, they protected everyone around him.
Correct.
And that's the one thing. That's the key thing that W hasn't been doing. They'll pick one person in the group to make the whole group look bad.
But
Yeah.
everybody. But I think they've put it in a way where Bobby, of course, is gonna look the strongest out of the bunch, but the other two don't look weak. They look like a cohesive unit, and that's honestly what I purely love about the Hurt Business. Even though I still think the name needs some work to do, but I think the focus and the purpose of what they are about is being presented in a way for
And
all
it's
of us.
protected.
Yeah, for all of us to understand it and for all of us to
And
appreciate
you know why
it.
it works is, yes, it translates many different fields of languages because it speaks to the white people because they see that, oh, when I think of the Hurt Business, I think that, yo, my Italian uncle, when hens and boys out there, they took care of business. That symbolizes people who take care of business. And for us black people, we see that, oh, these strong black men out here putting the work in. That gimmick, it seems to cater to black people, but it caters to the world. When you have a gimmick that can speak to so many different people, that's why it becomes successful.
Like
That's,
Omar,
huh?
whatever his name is.
Oh, Omar?
everybody.
First of all, he is the swaggiest nigga
But
on
you know
that
why?
damn roster.
And you know why his presence works? Shout out to Raw Underground. If he did not was on Raw Underground as the bodyguard and how they protected him, no one hit him. Everybody respected him. Braun Strowman came. He was just like, what? Raw Underground did justice. You know why
Absolutely.
Underground also did justice too? When the Hurt Business was on.
Yup.
When those boys was fighting?
fucking Hurt, yo, and that was
Oh
blowing.
my
That was what was
gosh.
blowing minds was that,
Whoa.
yo, the Hurt Business was losing every fucking week on Raw, like on the main stage. But when them niggas went to Raw Underground, them niggas was winning.
That
And I couldn't understand. I was like, why the fuck is this not on regular ass, like on the fucking ring?
And you know why Raw Underground was so clutch? As a side note,
I
though,
miss it.
It broke up Raw, so you
Yeah.
felt that it made it easy trade. Actually, like, damn, I'm ready for more
And it
wrestling.
made it, but it made it easier
Supposedly
to watch.
USA loves them.
What?
The Hurt
The
Business.
Hurt Business. Like
Yeah.
supposedly the USA really loves the Hurt Business.
Because it's something
It's good.
different and
It's
it's good.
good.
But going to
And they're
SmackDown-
businessmen.
Oh, but going back to SmackDown real quick, the spicy conversation that fucking Big E and Apollo Crews had at the end of that match, I was like, these niggas is really being niggas right now. Like, they really talking to each other like, yo, catch me, but you're not going to catch me because I'm going to fuck you up next time I see you. It's on site. And I was like, whoa.
And this is why,
I was like, I don't want this.
Thank God for Raw, SmackDown being on Fox, because that's a sports network. That's the one thing that...
And all these niggas is mic'd.
Right. That's the
All
one
of these
thing
niggas
that
is mic'd.
wrestling was... WWE was missing for so long, that sports element. Like, back in the day...
8K cameras.
Huh?
That 8K camera
Right.
shit is like
But
wild.
The
though.
one thing that I miss about wrestling back in the day is everybody felt like individuals. They still felt like sports people. Now SmackDown feels that way because everybody feel like they feel like a big deal.
Well, one of the things that the reason why it's working so much is because it feels fresh.
Yes,
SmackDown feels a lot real fresh when you watch it. There's a whole feel of like, yo,
it's brighter.
It's everything about it. It just feels fresh, and like with the Adam Pearce curveball, whatever, you're like, oh shit, this might have been
the Academy Award goes to Adam. One of them.
But that mic work was
that
terrible.
Adam
But it
Pearce.
happens.
The mic
was messed up.
It
wasn't
happened.
him.
But they had, what's funny because they replayed it on Raw and
you couldn't hear it.
You would never
They
know
fixed
that it was a mic problem.
I didn't see that part. I didn't fix it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. When
the
they
recap.
replayed it, they recapped it in the middle of Raw, and then when the same thing I felt, I was like, oh, like I heard this
they
live,
fixed it.
and I know this was fucked up.
But
so.
they're doing like really cool things where it's like, yeah, they have Roman as number one, but they're bringing people back in, they're making people hot, and it's crazy because somebody mentioned it on Twitter like how hot Shinsuke became overnight.
Again. They went back to the old school music, which is appreciated because that's what I like. Because he went back to being face, so it makes sense in that aspect.
And they let Shinsuke do what he does best.
Correct. And then they have shout outs to really just some of the work they've been doing, like backstage interviews and stuff, because it adds another layer to the story. So they had like an exclusive like interview. I think it was on their YouTube page or something, and where I forgot who interviewed Shinsuke, but Shinsuke was talking, and I'm just like, he's like, I'm coming for Roman, and I was like,
oh,
wait, what?
Cesaro's gonna push too.
Yeah, but you're seeing
as a bad guy.
But you're seeing good things
But
that's
it's good,
happening.
and it's
People are
something
being
different.
used. And listen,
People
also
being used.
Kevin is what Roman needs.
Correct.
That's his Joker.
Yeah, and I think people don't understand. And I've always said
That's
it's like,
honestly Rock Austin.
yeah, because you
When
need
you
that.
really think about it.
Like nobody career is made alone. I mean, you can kind of say Hogan, but that's because
No,
destroyed
absolutely
everybody.
not.
Nah,
But-
he got good like
but the thing
good
about
supporting cast that made him look
but
good
the
too.
thing it's also somebody's always been great rivalries that happen. Like
Yeah.
Stone Cold has a bunch of great rivalries. Like Rock and Triple H go
that
back
IC,
years.
That IC at
Right.
SummerSlam.
But it's
Woo.
just like in sports.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that what we're seeing is legacies being made, and you're also getting a lot of new fresh faces. Like Apollo wasn't being used.
Yeah. But him and Big E,
But
that
him and
could be
Big
his
E, I'm
rivalry.
invested.
Now you're seeing
I'm
something.
invested.
And then I don't know. I keep saying who is booking SmackDown.
Because it's not who's booking Raw.
It's not the same person.
It's
at
not
all.
the same person.
at
Because
all.
talking about Raw, once again, the Academy Award goes to Randall Keith Orton because that beginning.
people hated it. They say it was stupid.
What? Who hated it?
Niggas.
I don't think
What?
I didn't see nobody say that.
I seen people
hated
hated it. I
it?
seen people hated it.
Well, you gotta have some people hate it. I thought it was.
What?
I thought it was good.
So we got home and literally because somebody asked me like, oh, how was the MLK tribute? I was like, honestly speaking, I got home, I turned on.
Yeah, I could care less.
Randall was on TV.
Yeah.
He literally,
Yeah.
yo, we was trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. I was like, who got this mask on?
They said it's Daniel Bryan booking.
Oh.
Oh.
Big Dick Daddy?
Which honestly
Big Dick
makes
Daniel?
sense.
That's the only
Which
white boy called
honestly
Big
makes
Dick.
sense. Wow.
All home for Daniel.
Pause.
Don't
Pause.
come on.
Pause.
He put on for the brothers.
Pause.
He put on for us.
Yeah, he didn't put his
He
dick on
made
the table.
coffee.
He did put his dick on the
Come
table.
on.
He made Kofi pop it. He put his whole
Come
dick on
on,
the table. I don't
B.
know how big his dick is, but
He's a
he put his whole dick on the
vegetarian.
table.
I mean, big
vegetarian.
enough
He's a vegetarian,
for what
though,
you would
so
call
it
it to
should
get
be
2
big.
kids out of.
He's vegetarian. He eats, he's clean and stuff like that.
What?
He probably
Being a
is good.
vegetarian makes your dick big?
What?
Where did you get that knowledge from, son? What are you talking about?
Somebody want to Google that real quick?
More blood flow to the penis, dog. Come on,
What?
dog.
It might make it fatter.
What?
It's still bigger.
Wait,
Ah!
being vegan makes your
Yeah,
dick
if you eat a lot of
fatter?
protein, yeah.
Well, it's so a lot of like rich vegetables, especially like red ones, have nitric oxide. I think that's what it is. So nitric oxide, it helps with your blood flow.
Broccoli's good for blood flow too.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It is, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also so. It's so
Yeah.
he so
What?
to- okay. It doesn't make your dick
He
bigger.
just fucked me up just
no,
now.
no. I'll explain. So it's blood flow.
Okay,
Exactly.
that I
So
can
make your
get.
dick bigger. More flow to the penis.
Oh my
It
God.
makes
So
it bigger.
all right. So obviously
It makes
Daniel.
it more erect. I don't think bigger.
Niggas, let me give you the science behind this. So, when you eat a heavy, if you're a vegan, you don't eat meat.
Okay.
Meat clogs your arteries for the
Okay.
most part. So arteries, cholesterol, blood flow.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't make your dick bigger; it just makes your dick fatter. So you have a nice little solid.
So wait, do you get like 2 more inches out of that, or
You might if you
Yeah.
lose weight.
Yo, dogs.
Whoa!
That is true. That is true. That is true. Dogs, that's true. That's all I gotta say. Trust me.
Don't say anything. You're not allowed to talk for the next 2 minutes. Like
No,
flag-
it does.
flag on
It
the
does.
play.
If you lose a certain amount of weight,
Yeah,
like
it
if you're
does.
like really obesely overweight and you lose a certain
Hell
amount,
yeah.
like your dick gets bigger.
Yep.
It's like a solid 3 inches you'll add to your
Yep.
dick.
Yep. Solid. Yep.
How though?
Because your stomach, your stomach takes away the girth of your penis. Yeah.
How did we? Oh, Daniel Bryan. Okay, I really was trying to figure out how did we get to talking about girth and dick and being a vegan.
Okay. So Daniel's
let's just promote being healthy and being able to.
Shout
Ew.
out to Big Dick Danny.
Big Dick Danny. Okay.
Well, they got another kid.
Yeah.
right. No.
And she's mad happy.
Well, actually, towards the end of not this season, the second to last, when they was having marital problems, she wasn't that happy.
That
But
was
it
kayfabe.
No, that was real life. Monica.
No, because he wasn't around giving her dick.
correct.
Exactly.
Because if you watch the earlier episodes, they were fucking a lot.
Lot.
Like a lot.
So shit was wild.
So beets help with your
Yeah,
the
beets.
blood flow.
Hell yeah, beets. Hell yeah. Broccoli.
Broccoli. It's broccoli. So there's these. Nigga be reading. So it's beets,
Clearly.
spinach. Spinach helps with blood flow. Cayenne pepper.
Yep. Yep.
Coffee is really good.
Good. Hell yeah, make your dick hard.
Coffee make your dick hard. Coffee make your dick hard.
Then a mother effer.
Yo, I'm about to go to North Carolina. Boy,
Yep.
I am drinking a cup of
And-
coffee.
and you know what?
Long dick.
Yep.
But, and you know
But-
what? You
Yep.
guys,
Ginseng tea-
thank you for
ginseng
joining
tea
the
is good
Job
for
on
you.
This podcast.
Watermelon's also good.
Yep.
Also good for your dick.
Watermelon.
Watermelon's
Hell yeah.
really good for your dick.
Yep. Watermelon.
Coffee?
Oh, ginseng. Drink that
I
every
look at
morning.
coffee though.
Yep, ginseng.
Do you agree with that? No, I know that, but that's all I'm
And
looking
you
at.
always
like,
smiling.
coffee.
Exactly. If you want that extra effect, if you want extra plus, get dark roast.
Okay.
Yup, the dark. Like I'm talking about the
darkest.
black. It's black.
Dark.
Black like us.
I threw that nigga the alley hoops. I get.
Oh,
all right,
side
I own
note,
that.
for my guys out there during the sex, get yourself power armor. That's the ultimate recharge. Get you the easy second round, dogs.
Okay. Right. I don't know.
Listen,
What?
our fans need this, dogs.
You know what?
I want
I'm
the
not
black
mad
pack.
about it.
I want the
I'm still
so
trying to get
nice.
this Bluetooth sponsorship though.
Ask Montana. Montana got that stupid ass. He said subscription of them pills
I
and shit.
have them.
It's amazing.
What?
But I don't need it.
You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need
but
it.
it's like to break the glass.
Yeah.
Like you know what?
Niggas like us don't need it, but like,
But you know
we're
what? Let me
cheating.
show up a good
That's our
time.
steroids. That's our steroids.
It's really a
Yeah.
steroid. I
That's
ain't gonna
my
lie to
steroid
you.
to me, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's a steroid.
Yeah.
Nigga.
I don't need it,
take
but-
Oh
that.
steroid.
yeah, maca root.
What?
What's macaroon?
Maca root.
Where you get that from?
No, maca powder, right? So
Maca powder.
It's a powder, right? That's like
Who? This
Macaroon?
nigga said I gotta write this
Macaroon?
down.
maca root and sea moss.
Oh, come! I make sea moss, dogs.
Who
Sea
said
moss
that?
and black seed oil.
Oh,
so
yo.
Kiki in the comments.
Yo, black seed oil and sea moss. Oh my gosh, turn to
Mega
a porn
dick
star.
status.
Oh,
Mega
porn star
dick
status.
status.
Porn star
North
status.
Carolina.
Yep. Porn status.
The level of how I'm
I
done
take sea moss every
with
morning,
both
B,
these
and black
niggas.
sea moss.
Also zinc.
Oh,
Oh, zinc.
Zinc.
Yeah, zinc.
Zinc.
Does
Zinc-
help.
zinc.
Zinc gives
That's
you
what their immune system.
No,
and stuff
zinc
like
gives you
that.
more sperm.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
The main ingredient in your sperm.
don't
Yeah.
need that.
But that's
Nigga,
why, like, it's
absolutely
key.
not.
That's why for gentlemen, that's why I'm telling y'all, dogs, sea moss got all that vitamins in there. Yo, it's gonna change your life, B. Make your dick hard. Hard, B. The girl be like, dang, nigga, where does this big dick come from? Haha, sea moss.
North Carolina.
So
I make sea moss, dogs. You know, I need sea moss. Holler at me. I make sea moss. You know, I take black seed oil.
Selling those Africans on the
Yo, listen.
Right. I got the
listen.
bean pie. I got the bean pie.
Listen, I
That's what
changed,
it
B.
sound like.
I'm like Otto from every weed head nigga from every cartoon. I'm like, I'll never be like that. I'm just like that now, man. I smoke weed and give out free herbal health tips. That's it.
Yeah, but yeah. So maca root,
Maca
sea
root.
moss, black seed oil, zinc,
All of that. All
and
of that.
beets are really good. It's
Y'all
the
niggas
nitro oxidants in there.
Y'all niggas got me stressed.
All right, so I guess we'll move
Yeah.
on to
How do you move on from that?
Yeah.
I don't get how every time you niggas start talking about your dicks, y'all just go off. Like I don't
Kiki
understand.
Said women should sneak maca powder in their man drink. Laugh out loud. It's a southern trick.
That sounds very rapey, girl. I wish just that shit. That's how niggas end up dead. Like
I'm gonna take a mock up.
seriously, like
Maca root is good.
just start pouring shit in niggas' drinks and be like, that nigga be passed out. You be like, what happened?
Son, I be trying to help
Macaroon.
people. Like, I be trying to
The
help
fuck?
people, men out here. You know, get shorties,
Wow,
man.
get shorties. What's your best advice to get somebody?
Be yourself. Be yourself. Like all of this gimmick and stuff like that. Be yourself.
Let her sit on your face.
Yes. Be yourself. No, be yourself. And yo, right. Good. He's right. But no. On the other side, y'all nasty.
No, you are not allowed to come with
But
me.
but yes, be yourself. And be yourself and don't be a nice guy. Be a good dude. Because nice
Don't
guys.
be a nice guy. Be a good guy.
Yeah, because nice guys
That
get
sounds
walk
like
all over
Chucky.
them.
Be a good guy.
Yeah, because nice guys get walk all over on.
Oh, it's No Surrenders on February 13th.
Watching that.
Wow, I love the transition.
Good Brothers versus Private Party.
No one cares.
I actually care. It might be a good match.
Me too.
Well, you know what? I can appreciate pause. Well, not pause for me. Big guys versus smaller guys always seems to work out better.
Yep.
So that's why, I always highlight Daniel Bryan versus Brock. I'm like, shit.
Or Mark Henry versus Daniel Bryan in the cage match.
See.
Another underrated classic.
What else is going on this week in wrestling? Y'all niggas took me out, so I'm beyond
I
gone.
think-
I'm trying to think. Well, we watched AEW this week, and like I said, that whole segment, I didn't care for the match that Rusev had, but the segment with Chucky T, it's
Yeah,
like
me too.
the shit with him
Hurt.
calling him Charles.
Hurt.
He was like
And Art
Charles.
Catchy
He was
looked-
like Charles. Tell him that I'm your best friend now. I was like dying. I was like, oh my god, this is so
And Art
funny.
Catchy looked, he was just like,
It's like, where my nigga? That's your friend.
I was with your mom's. I was there. All right.
I was there with you shooting in the gym.
I helped you out in
and
that street
then
fight against Santana and Ortiz.
Right.
Those New York niggas.
I can once again, and then the whole the inner circle
Loved it.
triple threat thing. I actually really
Good.
enjoed it. I was glad it
was
was
a
the
very
end
good
of the.
match.
I'm glad it was the main event of the episode.
Very good.
What other matches was last night? Honestly speaking, one and I hope they really, really push her is Anna Jay of the Dark Order.
Yeah, she's
She's really good in the ring, and I really feel
That's
like
Brody's favorite. Brody put her in the group to really help her.
and I really feel like she can go to levels if they really, work on that. So I hope she does get the necessary push that she deserves and needs. And then with NXT, they're going right now with the Dusty Rhodes Classic, both men and women. Shout out to Io Shirai for she came out and fucked up Mercedes Martinez.
NXT's good.
That get back was
Well,
hilarious.
NXT
I just watched the clips on our way here because we watch AEW.
It was good. It was good. I watched
But
more
I
NXT this week.
love the pit fight
The Lions
with,
Den match.
with Thatcher, right? The remix with Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa.
Can you imagine Brock versus Bobby
Yo,
Lashley
but
in that match?
what fucked me up was the clip that we were watching. They were already on the top of the shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, "How the fuck did he get up
Yeah.
here?"
Yeah.
And then
The match started out in the top.
and then the ref that makes so much
Yeah,
more
they were
sense
talking
now.
about it.
But the ref fucking switched sides, but he crossed over and where the ring was like in the middle. It was just like, nigga, if you one bad fall, that's it. Like you gotta take that bump, and you gotta own that. So that was weird. But it was good. I thought from the clips, I thought it was good. I love the whole them building up Pete Dunne versus Finn. I love Finn. Definitely love Finn more in NXT. I just think it's
Because it presents him better.
It's a very better vibe. Like the promo, the interaction him and William Regal had, and then him going to Undisputed Era locker room and talking to them. Like I just think him as the position he's in right now is a way better position than he was on the main roster.
I think that they should have a second show.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't be mad
I won't
about
put it on broadcast television, but I put it on WWE Network. to get like the people that who like the up and coming some more rap. Like leave it like a rap show, and every once in a while you get the and then like treat you like dark.
I think it could work. Also too, if you have not already, tune in to MLW's new episode where they had Jacob Fatu versus ACH. That's definitely a match to watch.
That's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's too much.
And it actually is really a lot going on in wrestling sometimes.
Yo, I don't mean to-
but you
hold
have
on.
that. You had Davari now part of Katra unit, which I think is really dope. Adding someone to the stable, I think is always fun and interesting. And then what else? And then you have Los Parks beat the tag team champs now MLW.
Oh yeah, I saw
Why
that.
are you laughing?
Somebody was my homeboy was watching, I guess, and he sent me the list. He's like, yeah, I got
This
the breakdown.
nigga sent you a list.
He's like ginseng, broccoli, beets, power armor, black coffee, watermelon, maca powder, sea moss, black seed oil, and zinc.
Told you.
Leg day, along with eating right, will make you a star.
Yeah.
Make you a star.
And then he said Adam and Eve starter pump. I don't know what that means.
Oh no. I ain't doing no pump. That's some white boy stuff.
And then he's like, this is about to have my OnlyFans paid. I was like, okay.
Oh, send me that list.
Wow. Well, just post it on the Jabba Tears Instagram.
Yeah, and put it in.
Let the fans know. Let everyone know. Any last words before we do end the episode? Because I was done after y'all was talking about y'all dicks, and I really just didn't want to hear that today. But that was that. We got Rumble next week, so we will have. Are we confirmed with the guest? Do you want to put that out there in the atmosphere, or are we gonna hold off? We may have a special guest next week.
Yep.
Via StreamYard, joining us to talk about some wrestling, talk about maybe their new project, and as well as we're going to give our predictions for the Royal Rumble, any surprise entries and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that. Also, too, next week, I will be recording on StreamYard, going live, the Royal Rumble edition of the Big Four with Miss Stephanie Hardy herself. So make sure to stay tuned for that, and details on that will be for next week as well. Anything else before we do? I gotta go, guys, because I just
anything else?
deal with you.
Check out the other show, the Java Tears
this.
Network. You know,
when's your show coming?
I'm
back,
dropping
right?
an episode tomorrow. I'm gonna have Mr. Drew versus the World.
Okay.
It'll be Mr. Black versus Mr. Drew. I have an episode dropping out. Should be out tomorrow. The Mr. Black Show making a return. Please check out episodes of Shazone Talk. Please check out Your Sports. And please look out for everything else. Please stay tuned to the Twitch channel. We got something very much setting up, special future. I'm gonna announce some dates for that. Please So
yeah, we got a new episode also to the piggyback of Game Night with Mike.
Game Night with Mike.
You doing Big Four?
Next week? Yes, next week.
Who's your guest?
On StreamYard, I just said
Actually.
Stephanie Hardy. I actually told you guys
My bad. I
everything
forgot.
as I was sitting here.
I forgot. Word. Shout out to Miss Stephanie Hart, aka the voice of the Mother Dirt Sheet. New name alert. Mama Dirt Sheet.
Mama Dirt Sheets.
Cause she sound like a mother reading Dirt Sheet on the show. She's like, "Hey y'all, Stephanie Hardy here."
That is how she
Because
sounds.
she's Southern. That's
Yo,
okay.
I love her show. Shout out
love
to
it.
Stephanie Hardy. Love the show.
See,
Keep it up, girl.
See, there you go. So I will have Miss Stephanie Hardy tagging along with me, talking about the Royal Rumble and other past Rumbles.
That's gonna be such a
next
motherly
week.
episode. Cause y'all both motherly. Like she's more the sweet mother. You're more like the hardcore mother. Like you,
I'm
like,
the hardcore mom.
like you're super nice, but when people get on your nerves, woo
yeah.
everybody get a whooping. One belt. Cross
Let me
everybody.
tell. Okay, so let me tell y'all a quick story before we do sign off. So yesterday, somebody in the room had made a cake, right?
Mikey?
And I wasn't gonna out him, but I am gonna out him. I told you I was gonna tell them. So
Somebody made me a cake.
he did dessert. I did dinner. So I made empanadas last night, and he made the
You
cake.
didn't bring none?
We ate them all. They were gone.
Okay.
Sorry.
Niggas.
Sorry.
Selfish.
Anyway, and I knew if I mentioned empanadas, you were like, "You didn't bring me any?" So I already
I
knew
mean,
that was
those are
something.
not favorites, you know.
Yeah, I know. So we made the empanada. I made the empanadas, and he made the cake. And so the cake had, I had got oil from when I went down to Charlotte.
Oh, that
And I
kind
have
of.
right. So I'm mad because we wanted to bring you a slice, but we totally forgot. But we had brought you the other stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So it's fine. So we each had a piece of cake, and we're eating when we're watching Fatal Vows on ID, and we're watching, and we're chilling and blase. And he has the pan, he has the cake like on his lap. So I was just like, all right, cool. So I already knew.
My brother's face is just like,
So fat nigga
oh,
shit, sorry.
that's real fat. Okay.
Yeah. So we both took a slice, and then but the cake was really good. Outside of it being that type of cake, it was really good. So I already knew if I took a whole other slice, he was gonna bark at me. He was gonna yell at me like, "Yo, you're wildin'. Like, this ain't regular cake." So that's why I took a half of the cake. When I tell you this nigga over here spazzed the fuck out of me, scared me half the fucking death, he yelled at me, guys, for taking a half a piece of cake. And I was so confused, like, why are you yelling at me? Like, I don't understand. I told him, I said, I was trying to be considerate by not taking the whole piece. I took half.
Yeah, that's pretty considerate.
That nigga spazzed on me for a half a piece of a cake. So the moral of the story, guys, is don't eat cake around your nigga because he gonna end up yelling at you.
Depending on the cake.
Yeah, depending. He said
there?
that. I saw what you did there.
See what I did there?
But he said that he was like, if it was any other cake, I wouldn't have yelled at you. And I was just like, yo, but you just spazzed out on me for no fucking reason. The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm being nasty, but
Stop being nasty. Y'all nasty. I hope this episode you call it something nasty because y'all niggas was nasty the last 20 minutes. Shit had me for
I got
a loop.
an episode, a picture you should put for it.
Don't put ass and titties because I would
No,
be very upset.
like he took a picture of this already. You might just promote it, call it nasty. I got a picture.
Nasty.
I'm sure. I send you it.
Anyway, as I mentioned, next week we're gonna be in full Royal Rumble mode. So we're gonna talk about the Rumble. We possibly will have a special guest joining us, so I hope that does come through. So stay tuned for that. Anything else? Well, once again, the city isn't open, so we don't have a viewing party for the first time in like, oh my god.
Janelle Underground gonna be open?
Janelle Underground will probably be open, but that'll be between us. Thank you very much. Can't promote that. But yes. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes and Noble.